So I figured instead of reviewing BTS or Megan Thee Stallion and putting myself through living hell, why not review the new EP from not Green Day, The Network. Trans Am is the first ever EP by The Network, and they also announced that their second album, Money Money 2020 Part 2, will be out on December 4th. So literally within the next 2 weeks, I will be talking about this band again. It will be their first album since Part 1 of Money Money 2020 came out 17 years ago. And it's basically got the same sound as their first album. They're like a really 80s retro punk type feel with synth work and all that. And throughout the 4 songs on here, which by the way, I didn't dislike anything I heard. I think the one I was 50-50 on is Ivankkka's A Nazi, not because it's calling the current and soon to not be First Lady Ivanka Trump a Nazi, but I just don't know how I feel about the vocal performance at the beginning where it's all tweaked and messed with. I like the fact that Billie Joe Armstrong, because they say it's not Green Day, but we all know it's Green Day. I mean, Jesus Christ, you can see through the masks. It's pretty easy. They're not hiding anything. But you know what? They're playing it out like it's not them, so it's funny. It really is funny. But Billie Joe Armstrong tries his best to disguise his voice here. He kind of does it to where, I've seen him make fun of people with, the deep voices and whatever, and it kind of he's adding that to his already, vocals that we know him for from Green Day, and trying to make it more of I don't know, this is what you would call alien rock, I guess, if I had to guess what it was, because that's just what it sounds like. I feel like this is what aliens look down on Earth and go, oh, this is rock music, and then they create it on their own. The rest of the tracks, the other 3 are my favorite. Trans Am, the title track, great kickoff. Flat Earth, I like the fact that it's anti-pro flat Earth, if you get what I mean, because they're saying if you don't believe the Earth is flat, then you're a moron, but at the same point in time, it's making fun of the people that think that way, because we all know from scientific fact that the Earth is not flat, but that's just what this band is about, so you know what, cool. And then Fentanyl, which I like to say is the more atmospheric track of the 4. It's really good. It definitely does remind me a lot of something Green Day would do, and I know I keep saying that, and I know I played into the joke at the beginning, but again, it's fucking Green Day. Let's just be honest, and maybe, just maybe, I don't want to say this was the secret thing they're working on, but remember back at the beginning of the year when Green Day released their album Father of All Motherfuckers, and people couldn't just accept it because it was way different than what it sounded like, and it was only 26 minutes long, and people were like, this can't be the only thing they have. Well, now they have that covers thing coming, I think, toward the end of December, toward Christmas time. The covers thing they did, or Billie Joe Armstrong did. And then all of a sudden this comes out, and I think it's such a coincidence because their first album came out 17 years ago. It was called Money Money 2020. And now here they are releasing part 2 of that album, and it's 2020. Basically back then they said, hey, 17 years ago, we predicted all this shit was going to go down in 2020. Something bad was going to happen, and here we are. So now we have to follow up this album. It's just a clever little show and a clever little way of doing things, and maybe that was their plan, was to release that album and then do it 17 years later. It's really interesting to see what they've done with this EP leading up to this album and seeing what they have next in store. So yeah, overall, a really good EP. I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't. I mean, for what it is. I don't know if any of these songs are going to end up on the new album. I mean, if they do, that's fine, because like I said, I did enjoy them all, even the one that I was, in the middle with. But, who knows? It could grow on me with more listens, but this is a recommended one that I would say go listen to. 4 out of 5. That's basically where I'll leave it at that. That's all the explanation I have. I think I've went on about this enough, but yeah. That does it for me. You guys can tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this EP if you've heard it, and are you excited for this new Network album? And do you think that it's really Green Day doing this? I mean, who knows? I don't know. I mean, they say no. Should we believe them? Or should we just be like, no, this is definitely them because there's evidence? I don't know. I mean, I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments, but until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.